Good morning, student. Welcome to GYANJYOTI online classes. Class 7 English Prose chapter number 5. It's exercise. Chapter 9 is Miracle Curious. So in this chapter we have discussed and I think you have understood, and now we have to do its exercise. So students, open page number 43 number page, and let's discuss its exercise. Question number 1. What did Dhruva notice about the young boy sitting next to him? Okay, once again, what did Dhruva notice about the young boy sitting next to him? लड़का जो उसके पास बैठा था, तो ध्रुव ने क्या इसको ध्यान दिए. Dhruva noticed that the young boy was restless and lost. He kept looking anxiously around him. Often being asked where he was going, he did not respond. It was then that Dhruva realized that the boy could not bear or speak. Yeah, Dhruva knew that the boy was a deaf person, unable to listen, unable to speak. Okay. Question number 2. Why does the author call deafness invisible and voiceless? कभी क्यों राइटर यहाँ पर जो सुन नहीं पाते हैं उनको क्योंकि अदृश्य और वॉइसलेस बोलते हैं. ओके. Deafness is invisible because there are no visible signs and deafness. One may not know when someone near them is deaf. It is voiceless too because most of the people who are born deaf cannot speak too. या जो पैदाइशी बहरे हैं उन लोग बोल भी नहीं सकते. Hence they cannot express themselves. So that's why the author called deafness invisible and voiceless. I hope you understood. Question number 3. Why do you think the deaf are very skilled at reading maps and remembering roads or buildings? यहाँ पर राइटर क्यों बोलना चाहते हैं कि जो सुन नहीं सकते हैं उन लोग मैप्स का अध्ययन और या कोई रोड या कोई बिल्डिंग को अच्छे से याद रखते हैं. What the reason? Yes, the deaf are extremely good at map reading, remembering roads and buildings because they are enormously visually inclined. Their lack of hearing and speech faculty is compensated by the sharpness of the visual faculty. उनका आँख का जो पावर है बहुत तेज हो जाता है. Because of that, they can read maps well or remember the roads or buildings well. It's clear to understand? Question number 4. Describe the back office of Miracle Couriers. Miracle Couriers का बैक ऑफिस को हमको एक्सपेंड करना है. Okay, the back office of Miracle Couriers is run by 20 hard-working deaf women. How many? 20 hard-working deaf women. 20. Next point. Yes, the back office of Miracle Couriers is run by 20 hard-working deaf women with knowledge in data entry, tracking, scanning, sorting, and other branch operations. Once the packages to be courierized arrive at the branch office, they are sorted, processed, and prepared for delivery. The back office staff sort the shipments based on pin codes. Further, sorting is carried out by each field agent who is responsible for a designated area of delivery. Once sorted, each document is given a tracking code and entered into the system. This allows the company to track and maintain transparency as to who is responsible for which shipment. All the transactions are conducted using sign language and text messaging. Yeah, sign language and text message, etc. Okay, so they use these things to use in their office. Yes, I think you have understood this point. Question number 5 then. How has the work of the company been recognized? How has the work of the company been recognized? कंपनी का जो काम है कैसे पहचाना गया है? It's okay. The Miracle Couriers has won several awards, including the 2009. What is that? Helen Keller Award. First award is Helen Keller Award. First award Helen Keller Award in 2010. What another award? National Award for the Empowerment of People with Disability by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. They are the 2 awards they have already got. So I think that you have understood 2 awards here. Did you understand, student? Students, now let's discuss about A2. A2 reference to extract or reference to context. What the context is, according to that we have to answer. Yeah, explain these lines with reference to the context. You can open question number 1. Reference is, though the bus conductor regularly announced the stops, this boy still did not know where he was. Once again, though the bus conductor regularly announced the bus stops, this boy still did not know where he was. इसको मालूम चला कि वो कहाँ पर है. Where did the author observe this scene? Yes, why did the author observe this thing? Answer is, the author observed this scene on a bus. Question number B. Why did the boy still not know where he was? लड़का नहीं जाना कि कहाँ पर है, अभी भी नहीं जाना. The boy did not know where he was because he was speech and hearing impaired. Speech and hearing impaired means सुनना और बोलना उसको असंभव था. So that was the problem, that the boy did not know where he was. It's okay. Question number 2. When they do find employment, for most of them it's in the formal sector where they are badly paid, only seasonally hired and treated especially bad for being deaf. Once again, when they do find employment, for most of them it's in the informal sectors where they are badly paid, only seasonally hired and treated especially bad for being deaf. Okay, this is the extract. And now question number 1 is, who is the author referring to? The deaf are treated badly. Yes, who are the author referring to? The answer. The speaker is referring to hearing impaired people, जो सुनने में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, who do not find any appropriate employment opportunities. B number question. Why are deaf people treated badly? Deaf people कैसे ही बहुत घटिया तरह से ट्रीट किया जाता है. The deaf are treated badly owing to their impairment. People have preconceived notions about those who have some kind of physical or mental challenges. They are not considered normal and are hence ill treated. उन लोग साधारण नहीं हैं, विकलांग हैं, उनके लिए बुरी तरह से वार्तालाप व्यवहार किया जाता है. So these are the ill treatment by the people. You can open page number 44 now to discuss next number question. Page number 44. As the consequence, many of them are able to go back home and support their families rather than having to be helplessly dependent on them. Once again, as the consequence, इसका फलस्वरूप many of them are able to go back home, जो घर जा सकते हैं, and support their family, घर को मदद कर सकते हैं, rather than having to be helplessly dependent on them, उनके ऊपर भरोसा, उनके सहायता से जीने से अच्छा. Yes, this is the extract, and now the question is, how are these people able to support their families? How are these people able to support their family? कैसे उन लोग अपने परिवार को सपोर्ट करते हैं? Yes, miracle couriers employs only deaf. They are trained and are provided with a competitive and professionally demanding environment. These boost their confidence. Thus, despite their disability, they rise up to take on challenges. They become financially independent and are able to support their families. Had the deaf not been given such opportunity by miracle couriers, they would never have known what economic freedom is and given such and would have remained dependent on their families. Yes, or if they will not give any this type of support, then depend upon their family. That's why this type of courier service, extra service, this disabled person can do, then they will be self-dependent, they can do well. I hope so. I have discussed this point. Yes, well, did you understand? So now let's discuss about A3. What the heading is discuss about this chapter. So you read about a company helping differently abled person become self-dependent. What other places can employ differently abled people? Okay. The question means company helping different abled person जो हाथ पैर है, काम सुन रहे हैं, अच्छे हैं, उनको तो जॉब मिल जाता है. What other places can employ differently abled people? Yes, what other places can employ? और कैसे ऐसे अलग जगह में एम्प्लॉय हो सकते हैं? Yes, I feel that differently abled people may be hired everywhere. जो कि सक्षम है चाहे तो काम मिलता है. The authorities need to see where they can fit in. The job responsibility may differ from industry to industry. There is no difference between a differently abled person and a normal person as far as efficiency is concerned. कोई भी है, either disabled person or the normal person. Those who the work is done means no problem. Okay. So these days we have text to speech software available for visually impaired employees. Visually impaired employees means जो देखने में प्रॉब्लम होता है. On one of the employees at the welcome desk in America's White House is hearing and speech impaired. In India, in one of the KFC outlets in Kolkata, more than 70% employees are hearing and speech impaired. They are able to listen, then they can try to speak also. We need to change our perception about differently abled people, and we will see that they can fit into the mainstream easily. Yeah, if you try, we can change our everyday life. Those who are disabled and unable to do, we can try and do our level best. Question number 2. Differently abled people have a lot of untapped potential. Do you agree? Discuss. Yes. Differently abled people have a lot of untapped potentials. We can never forget that Roosevelt led USA despite being crippled with polio. Imagine one of the example here. Roosevelt जो कि पोलियो से ग्रसित था, लेकिन वो अमेरिका को he was able to handle. Okay. Next point, differently abled employees are more loyal towards the organizations they work with and hence contribute magnificently towards low attrition. Let's see, means they can be loyal means or very good at job. Next point, in order to compensate for their physical disabilities, they tend to be more sincere and hardworking. Employing differently abled employees cultivate diversity and innovation in an organization. Differently abled people should be provided with appropriate skill development training to bring them to the mainstream workforce. So we have to bring them for their own job form. I can give them different type of job and we have to handle them well. Question number 3. You want to start a company with your friend. Which area of business would you like to explore? Why? This is a different opinion by different students. So what your business? I don't know. So what business you would like to start? And then which area of business would you like to explore? Business कौन सा area तुम discover करना चाहते हो? You can write your own thoughts, own idea. Question 3, students have to try to give their own type of answer accordingly. Now let's come to this part of vocabulary. Now here you can read the curriculum and let's discuss. Here in the book given vocabulary, here I read Deepika Ahuja, address here, post 505 South Avenue, Delhi. Email deepikaahuja@gmail.com. Mobile number also given. Then heading is career objectives: to contribute my knowledge, skills and experience for the advancement of the authority of the company while training and learning on the job. Educational qualification: LLB from CLC Delhi 2015 present, HSC from HS College 2011. Technical skills: working knowledge of all computer based applications. Leadership roles: as the head girl of my school, I have played a pivotal role in organizing plays and the annual concert. So there are different types of careers, different types of skill. Now next point, key skills and strength. Quick learner, good communication and interpersonal skills, good in analytical skills, excellent track record in college, focused and punctual, personal details, date of birth, maybe varies, language, whatever, English, Hindi, etc. So here these are the points. Then you want to apply for a job and interact in organizations, make your curriculum vita, give all your details. So here we have to try to understand B2. Look at the company profile for a courier delivery company. So here we have to make a company profile for a book publishing company. Yes, student. So students, now you see here to make a company profile for the book publishing company. How to make a company profile? Let's see, heading here, Jet Publishing Company with the address 567 TY Road, Gurgaon. And the email address is whatever, then the mobile number, etc. Now, Jet Publishing Company is the only publisher to self-publish your book, novel, newsletter or magazine. Having been in business for 4 years, we are known to encourage new talent. Purpose: we wish to encourage budding writers. उद्देश्य है कि जो नया लेखक है उनको encourage करना चाहते हैं. और vision: we want to be the numero uno in publishing industry. Next point, our mission statement: to encourage creativity and writing among the new generation. मैंने बच्चे जैसे कि नया टाइप का राइटिंग लिखेंगे उनको उत्साह देना. And the goal to expand our services throughout India and become the key player in the publishing industry. तो फैलाना है पूरे भारत में. So this is all the advertise of a company profile for a book publishing company. So in this way you have to make this profile. Yes, student, understood? So now students, we have to discuss about the grammar part here. And here in these grammars, in the grammar book you have the English grammar, adverb. You have studied also in this book, has briefly given, not fully, but whatever repeatedly, as I have taught you about the adverb. And this time also is repeat once again. Adverb you have to know, to modify the meaning of a verb, an adjective or another adverb. Okay. So this adverb of 6 types you can see: adverb of time, adverb of frequency, adverb of place, adverb of manner, adverb of degree, adverb interrogative adverb. Okay, let's see about the time. जो समय को दिखाता है, just like which an action takes place. Just I have met Neha before. It means पहले समय को दिखा रहा है. The principal will meet you today. Today means time. Showing the time. Today, before. Except this one is of time. Now frequency. Frequency means show us how often something happens. कितने बार? एक बार, 2 बार, 3 बार. That is frequency. He visits us regularly. मतलब बार-बार हमारे घर में आते हैं. मतलब चलते रहता है. That is called frequency. My father exercise every day. हर दिन. Yes, we read every day. Yeah, we eat every day. This is the frequency. चल रहा है. We breathe every moment. वो भी हमेशा चल रहा है. That is called frequency. Place, जगह. Just like Sam went out downstairs. जगह है downstairs. Show us where something happened. The man has gone out. Out is the place. Okay. So this is the adverb of place. Now adverb of manner we will discuss. Show us how something happened. Just like Rahim writes neatly. Rahim बहुत सुंदर लिखता है. कैसे लिखता है? सुंदर से लिखता है. The student walks diligently. Students walk diligently. That is the adverb of manner. Then adverb of degree. Let's see, degree means show the intensity or the degree of an action or a quality. I am so satisfied. What you have heard is absolutely true. Absolutely true. The degree means intensity or the degree of an action. Now interrogative adverb are adverbs which are used at the beginning of the sentence. Where, what is your name? When are you reaching Kolkata? When are you reaching Kolkata? Time. Where can I meet you? Place. How did you get there? Manner. Why are you so sad? Reason. 4 types. When, where, how, and why. 4 types. When, why, where, and how. The 4 types of interrogative adverbs. So this is briefly I discuss, and let's do the exercise here. Underline the adverbs and state their kind, type in these sentences. Yes, first number, I will be leaving for Jaipur tomorrow. I will be leaving for Jaipur tomorrow. Here tomorrow is an adverb. Yes, tomorrow. Okay, what type of adverb? Time. Number 2. Grandma generally treated us to sweets. Generously means manner. Generously here manner. Generously is manner. Number 3. I had left my key here. Here is the place. Here is place. Question number 4. The children shouted gleefully at the end of the magic show. Gleefully here also manner. Yes, gleefully. Right, number question. Mrs. Sharma rides the bicycle daily. Daily is the frequency. Daily. Sixth number question. The mango is very ripe. Here ripe is very is here degree. Very ripe. Degree. 6 number is degree. And 7 number, what time do you usually come here? Usually. And usually is the frequency. Usually is frequency. So this is all about this thing. Did you understand, children? So see to read the passage and underline the adverbs here. I have already answered and I have to show. I am reading the passage and I am showing you this adverb. Kavita would wake up early. Yes, then every day. But that day when Kavita woke up, but that day. Yes, that is also adverb. Woke up, she found that it was raining heavily. When she was Kavita woke up, she found that it was raining heavily. The whole road was flooded. Her school was 2 kilometers away from the house. Here away, kilometers away from the house. And she did not know how to reach there. How to reach there is the adverb. How to reach there. Here, there also adverb. Her maths teacher would often conduct. Okay. Weekly test and that day weekly test and that day is that day. That day they had 1. She felt nervous about missing the test. Yes, here nervous also one of the manner. Nervous about missing the test and kept looking at the room, but it was still waterlogged. Okay, there was no clear spot. But anywhere down to road. Suddenly also Suddenly the phone rang and she heard the news that school had been closed for the day. Kavita shouted excitedly and ran off to play in the water. These are all adverbs. Okay, now next point C3. Let us discuss. We have to find the answers. Fill in the blanks with the correct adverb from this bracket. Rehna is dash late for school. Rehna is tomorrow late or always? Always late. Yes, answer will be always. You can write always. Number 1. Number 2. I dash drink cold coffee here or seldom. Okay. Question number 3. Our favorite TV program starts at 6 o'clock is the right time. Not usually around 6 o'clock. Question number 4. She started at her grandmother's house all or rarely? All day. Okay. Question number 5. Our class desk gets assignment from the English teacher. Our class often gets assignment. Often. Often. 6 number here. The children were playing faster outside. Yes, they played outside. 7 number question. My teacher speaks to this that I fail to understand. Speak to quickly here. Speak to quickly. 8 number question. Please close the door when you come in. Gently inside. Gently. Not gently. Question number 9. There were many books scattered loudly on the floor. Last question. In spring, flowers bloom softly or everywhere? Everywhere. So students, in this way, this chapter is all the exercise I have done, and pronunciation and listen speaking, that is no need of, you have to practice and practice it. Hope you study well and meet you once again in the next period. Have a good night, goodbye.